Well, I think for the mid-year, it's probably the most, I think, Frank, that we have signed mid-year since we've been here. And that just kind of shook out. I mean, we got on some good kids early, and that we felt that could help us on offensive line and defensive line. You know, the things worked out right. Guys were working hard, and I mean, one of the kids, you know, he was going to another bigger university, and he got dropped at the last minute. Coach Zamberlin and I happened to be in the car, got a call, we're in the school. Get him set up on a visit, get him up here, and sometimes it pays to be in the right place at the right time. But Coach Zamberlin had done a great job before recruiting the young man too. And so the kids from the East Coast, that was just a situation where, you know, they were in another university or heading in another university, and they dropped football. So we were in the right place at the right time. But it was, all right, let's get out there and let's get after it. And you know, we knew a coach at Hofstra too, and that helped. I think Wes is best positioned would probably be fullback for us. He's a tough kid. He's not a breakaway tailback, but we've had him in camp for 2 or 3 years now. He's a great, tough kid. He wrestles heavyweight. He wrestles up. So it was either fullback or linebacker for him is what we were looking at. I really felt that, you know, he can block, he can put his face on you, he can still run the ball for you. So I really felt fullback would be a great spot for him. And he fit that need for us, and it was great because he's a local kid and he's right here in our backyard. We keep him here, and we've had him in camp for 2 or 3 years. Well, we knew they were leaving right before the end of the first semester. You know, Evan had come in and Kyle had come in, and we actually talked to, you know, both of them, and they're great kids, but Kyle had the opportunity, a rough season for Kyle. And he had the opportunity to finish up and graduate. He decided he was going to move on, get on with his future, which I understand. Evan, another great kid. Hated to lose Evan out of the program, but he felt that transferring down to a Division II would give him a better opportunity to play. So, personality-wise, character-wise, I mean, they're great kids, and those are the kind of kids you want in your program. So now, you had Russ Hill, and then you had younger kids in the program, and then Mike, you know, Mike coming back from his mission. So we felt we needed to go out there and find a older kid, and in Grayson out of Santa Rosa. He's a good-sized kid. He can move. He's got a good arm, and so that'll be good. It'll be great competition, and we think he can do great things. And I know Coach Early, our new offensive coordinator, is excited about him. So, yeah, so that's how it was good. We needed to get an older guy in here, too. I did not get to talk to Craig Morton. Coach Early did. That's his stepdad. Played, what, 18 years in the NFL.
Started for the Cowboys in Super Bowl V, and then
Broncos, too, didn't he?
Then started for the Broncos in Super Bowl 12. He and Kurt Warner are the only two to ever start for 2 different teams in the Super Bowl.
There you have it.
Definitely is.
But, yeah, I mean, that's a stepdad. And Grayson was a great kid when he came here on a visit. Just kind of blew everybody away as far as his personality, how he carried himself. So, you know, it'll be exciting to get him up here and get him up here early in the summertime, you know, so that he can start working on things, and we can go from there. You know, I think the good thing about Phil is, you know, I talked to a lot of people, and Phil being one of them, and not bringing in a set system that you got to try to plug people into. It's looking at the personnel that we have, and we recruited though to kind of the style. You know, whether it's West Coast or whether it's power, being able to run power and be physical. But it's not, it's more tailoring offensively to the best personnel that we have here. Instead of saying, you know, there was one time we were talking about spread and all those things, looking at our quarterback situation and looking at what we have, what were we able to recruit the best, and Phil being able to, with a lot of experience, put people in a position to be successful. And I'm excited about having Phil here, guiding and leading on that side of the ball, and John Clark, offensive line coach, who Phil has worked with at Auburn and Ohio U and at Syracuse, so they're on the same page with things too. Looking, I think we've got some good young ones, and we're keeping our finger crossed that Andrew Benavides, who's cleared for everything except for contact right now, comes back. But Tavoy Moore has played slot. So when we were looking and talking about wide receivers, we were looking more from a slot guy. Tavoy can do that. Demetrius from Indianapolis, he played wide receiver. So, you know, one thing that we do have to address though, I think we'll still be in the market looking for a corner. We need to find a punter and maybe a place kicker. We're set at long snapper, but we need to find a couple kickers, I think. So the beat will go on, but I'm really happy with the group that we have here. Oh, I don't know, it's tough. You have some kids set up for a visit, and then all of a sudden, bang, here comes a bigger school, and you end up losing them. But like with Jared Huck, you know, we didn't find Jared till April, probably, or May, before we got Jared here. And it's a little, you know, Jared chose to come here over Memphis. It's a little easier to recruit kickers to this environment to play inside here. You know, a punter, to kick, the field goal, because you're going to have good weather when you're playing. So we'll work at it. We'll look at a lot of different kids, and we still are talking to a lot of different kids, and so that's a goal that we need to shore up the position before preseason. Well, Riley is, you know, we were fortunate that we had Salmon here in camp, and so we got to know him as a person, got to really watch him, be around him, and get a feel for Riley and his character, and watch him, you know, a lot more advantageous than just watching him on the phone and watching him play basketball, because he's a very good basketball player. But we got to watch him here up close and personal. We got to get a feel for him, and you know, we went to work and we made the decision in the spring that we were going to offer Riley, that he was an in-state kid that's about 6'3", 200 pounds, that's going to only get bigger and throws the ball well. So we got one here in our backyard. Let's keep him here, and let's not keep looking. Go back to that family, because they're tough football players. I mean, they're tough kids. If you saw him here in the state final game, he got knocked out. I mean, he was cold, and his mom's a nurse, and they woke him up and put him back in the game. So I mean, it's a tough family. Kelvin is here playing for me. His brother Chris was a very good player here. So we're excited about the family. To me is a tough family. They were excited about Cole coming here and being with Kelvin. So, you know, we're not above like looking at 8-man football. I mean, because Kelvin is really developing, and Cole will too. His time will be down the road, but you know that they're going to be good, tough, hard football players for you. I see him being probably, in my evaluation, see him being a linebacker for us, growing into that role. He's got a good frame, but he's got some work he's got to do, because he's been a big sport guy up there, playing more than one sport, just like Kelvin did. Kelvin came here, and you thought he just got a POW camp. He was, you know, scrawny, and he's up to about 220 pounds right now. So Cole will get bigger, he'll get in the weight room, and he'll work hard. And great family, and the family excited about him coming here and continuing being here playing with his brother. So that was an easy one, because we'd had him around, he'd been in camp too.